Mandalorian Chapter 7 is out. It is out now. This is Wednesday. They dropped the episode early because of the Rise of Skywalker. They wanted to kind of flip how things go. There's a preview for the movie after. Actually, you don't even have to watch it. You can just click it on Disney+. Regardless, there's a preview for Rise of Skywalker attached to Chapter 7 of The Mandalorian, but we're not here to talk about Rise of Skywalker. We're here to talk about The Mandalorian, the second to last episode of Season 1. There's plenty more to come. Yep. And I think we're going to get it earlier next year than people think.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be waiting a year for this.
No, I don't think so either.
That's a guess, though. Don't hold me to that.
Yeah, I hope not.
Directed by Deborah Chow, who directed the third episode, which has been many people's favorite episode.
I think a lot of people,
had the big Mandalorian siege at the end there, the heavy Mandalorian armor.
The John Wick vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Deborah Chow directing all of the Obi-Wan series, the creator of the Obi-Wan series. So if you like Episode 3 and you like Episode 7, get pumped for Obi-Wan. I love the way she directs.
That's what this episode pretty much did for me, was I was like, okay, Deborah Chow is the best director we've got on this show, and I cannot wait for that Obi-Wan show. If we think this is an event, like, that is going to be an event.
Sure.
The event, yeah.
For sure, yeah. And the fact, again, that she does do it, it lends to the idea that this is what you're going to get with Obi-Wan, which is a nice little look ahead. But what did you think? Did you like this episode, Episode 7?
Yeah, I like this episode a lot. I think we even kind of predicted this, right? We said this was going to be sort of a two-parter.
Yeah.
Right? We thought that this is going to be leading into the next one. We thought we were definitely going to get introduced to Moff Gideon at some point during this, which we did. And I liked it a lot. I mean, a lot of cool, like, you go back and you see some of the characters from before. You get that connectivity, which people have been complaining about, right?
Yep.
They've been saying, we want a more overarching story. We're getting that now because they're going back and we're meeting all these old characters and they're teaming up for this last little finale bit.
That's exactly what I wanted out of this. I wanted more to the Baby Yoda story, more even hinting towards that. Let's go back, let's see some older characters, and that's what we got. Like, everything sort of clicked into place with this episode, and we also got, like, pretty much our first Star Wars MMA fight.
Yes.
We did, yeah.
Yes.
There was basically MMA fighting. We'll get into that. But my view's kind of been, like, a lot of plot to start, little less second episode, and then I like 3 through 6 were just adventure, like Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, these adventure, even like Western vibes where, the plot's a little bit down below there, but like build some characters up. Let's get some stories.
They did subtly build to a bunch of stuff in this episode as well.
Exactly, which they always were. And I get if that's not your type of thing. If you want the Game of Thrones big epic where it's just plot, like the whole time, that's perfectly okay. But I think we've just established this is just a fun series.
A different type of series.
Yeah, I definitely see both sides because
I get it,
I definitely like the serial stuff, but would have liked more plot trickle down into it than we got. But now that we're here, it's like, all right, they obviously had a plan all along. I think in Season 2 we probably will get a little more of that because it's been a common complaint, I guess, about the show. But at this point, Chapter 7 and 8, they're pretty much wrapping everything up. They're going to do it. They're going to... I don't think they're going to wrap it up and be like, okay, that's the full story. See ya. It's obviously going to have a cliffhanger for Season 2. For now...
Which I'm already mad about.
We're getting
I'm already mad we got to wait 10 days. I guess, like, if you celebrate Christmas, you get, like, one... It's, like... I guess that counts as, like... That doesn't really count as a day because you're not thinking about Mandalorian. I might still be thinking about Mandalorian on the 25th.
People are going to be thinking of Rise of Skywalker as well.
Yes, true. 100%. So you get that. Well, but that's the problem. So
we also have Clone Wars starting soon. Clone Wars Season 7. Just don't forget that.
That's not till next year, though, right?
Yeah, but like that's going to be like our next thing.
True.
Yeah, so which I'm very, very pumped. Maybe we may have to talk Clone Wars.
I think we have to talk about that. You have to catch up.
Yeah. Well, we should do a recap too of what's happening.
Yeah,
totally. Well, maybe like episodes for like seasons. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
I like that. There's an idea. Just crafted the idea. I'm not going to cut this out. We did see Rise of Skywalker early, though, so we don't get that. We have a full 10-day wait, which kind of sucks. But it's okay. You know what? The wait means I like the show, and that's good.
No, definitely.
And that's good. That's a good sign. So let's get into some Easter eggs off the top. A species we've seen before. Cara Dune is fighting a Zabrak, a Dathomirian, I guess is how
it's like a Night Brothers.
But it's a Darth Maul species.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the Darth Maul species.
Yeah.
And this one looks even more like Darth Maul than the last one we saw. And they're doing some weird string, like MMA fight type thing. Like
it's like there's in pro wrestling, there's something known as like a bull rope match where like the opponents are tied together and they could never escape each other. So I guess it was their version of that, or a dog collar match, if you will. And it was like submitting was giving up your end of the thing. Did you notice that when she had
you had to
unpressed this thing? That was super cool.
It was kind of like I've seen it in a few movies and stuff where they do like the tie-off fights where like you tie the person's hand to the other person's hand and then you just have to fight with your free hand.
Yeah.
And that shit's so cool to me. What'd you think of the MMA fight? Give us a little
she was using like some actual moves and like transitions. Obviously, it's like, all exaggerated and all like kind of looks like a pro wrestling version of MMA to me. But like the final move she hit like a guillotine sweep. She was doing like.
Well, for those who don't
moves.
know about Gina Carano,
Oh yeah, she was like the original. She was Ronda Rousey before Ronda Rousey. She was bringing women's MMA to the mainstream. She's one of the biggest pioneers there's ever been.
So it makes sense. It was a cool little nod. Also, let's get some more sports in Mandalorian. I'm not saying like an episode of just a sport, but like I do think that the Mandalorian at some point, maybe we're gonna see pod racing at some point.
I was gonna say I want to see him carry out a hit at a pod race.
Maybe betting or something.
I do want to see pod racing again.
Yeah, me
we
too.
got a little bit of it in Attack of the Clones when they go to the bar to find Zam Wessel.
Yeah.
One of our favorite characters. You get in the background on the TV. They play
football
like,
thing.
There's like football.
Yeah.
It's robot football. A little more of that.
Funny is if instead of what was I just gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Continue. Sorry.
Okay.
Pod racing, one of the best
We'll
parts
come
of
back
Phantom
to me. Pod
Menace.
racing. Oh, I was gonna say instead of Ron Howard just making the movie Solo that he made, if he just went back and made Rush but with pod
But
racing.
pod racing, oh, I love that.
Fast and Furious.
And release
pod
it
racing.
Bulba story.
yeah.
Weequay, that's a species. I don't know if I'm saying that exactly properly, but it is one of the, I guess, guards or guild members who's helping protect Carl Weathers, Grief Karga. That is the same species as Hondo OHNAKA, who is a big player, a space pirate. Like he is Johnny Depp.
He's a pirate.
Literally Johnny Depp,
Jack Sparrow, space pirate.
In Clones and Rebels, yeah.
Rebels, yeah. He was in Clones.
He started in Clones and then they moved him into Rebels.
Right. Those things,
that
they
big
merge
episode.
so well. Right. Where they train...
They capture Count Dooku in an episode of Clone Wars, and then they also capture Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then they all have to team up and escape.
Is that the training episode he's into where they train?
Yeah, that's part of that too. So,
the two series are like, they're not the same at all because they're way different time periods, but they do seem a bit similar. He's also a big player in, we've mentioned before, the Star Wars park in Disney.
Yeah.
He is, he's alongside Chewie, I believe. I've not been there. But he's alongside Chewie for the Millennium Falcon ride. So
he's a lot like Yondo Odonta, who sounds very similar to Hondo OHNAKA.
He does, yes. And he's a colorful-looking alien. There's a new dragon species. I don't know what it is. I was hoping someone would confirm it. It's a I don't think crate dragons don't fly, I don't think. The ones that are on Tatooine. I thought maybe it was a Mynock at first, the bats that we see in Empire Strikes Back. But it's not. They're huge.
Yeah. So that's, I think, the first thing when I walked up to Robbie, I'm like, is that some sort of like bug Mynock thing? And you said you thought it was a pterodactyl. You thought it was a dragon. We all went in like sort of separate directions with this.
I don't know. I honestly have no idea what it is. No clue.
It's too big to be an Mynock, but it has that same sort of structure where it's like head, wings, and then a single tail, but no legs or anything like that. But like the little two under ones. So I don't know. I have no idea.
It's cool though.
I'm not sure. Not sure what they are.
Fucking picked up a blurg. Shit must be powerful.
If you know what it is, let us know. It picked up a blurg, almost killed Carl Weathers. Then when they go into town, we see Imperial Scout Troopers, which we have not seen in a long time.
That's my favorite Stormtrooper variant. That's
it is mine as well.
Oh wow! Didn't know that.
My favorite toy is the Imperial Scout Trooper with the speeder bike.
Yep, that's a big ass sniper and a tiny little nub pistol.
Yep.
Yeah,
so cool.
They're cleaner up. Like they definitely take care of their armor a little more.
Yeah, they're a little more. You know, I feel like snipers are a little more like buttoned up. So they are.
One of the most shocking things in Rebels is when Ezra gets a Scout Trooper helmet and he like clicks it and the whole front pops off. And I did not know that was a thing at all.
That should just come off because in Star Wars Family Guy. The Scout Trooper takes off the helmet and it's a very tiny head, and Peter shoots and kills him. Yeah. If you've ever seen Star Wars Family Guys,
amazing.
They're so great.
They're perfect. They nail everything in Star Wars. Also, the speeder bikes. We see speeder bikes in full action. We've seen swoop bikes, but I love the traditional speeder bike. Yeah, very cool toy.
Yeah, I love that.
And the toy, you'd press the back and it would pop off. It would explode the bike. Nice. Very cool.
I always love the exploding cars or ships toys.
Yes. Yep. I was cool seeing the Imperial Scout Trooper. I will say that. Stormtroopers, whatever. Like at this point, Stormtroopers are played out. I mean, they're there because they have to be. The Scout Trooper, nice to see him back. First time we've seen him in live action since
I'm pretty sure this is Jedi, yeah.
Since Jedi, right? Well,
pretty sure.
in chronologically, because there are clone Scout Troopers.
Rogue One?
Rogue One, they have the armor. I don't think they have like the same helmet type, but they're wearing the camo armor. I don't know if those count as traditional Scout Troopers.
They have like the Sand Troopers. I forget what they're called. They're called something.
The Shore Troopers?
The Shore Troopers,
the Jungle
like
Troopers.
Yeah,
I think it's Shore. Yeah.
We talked about the RA-7 droid last episode. We get a 3B, for sure RA-7 droid. It's Werner Herzog's character's personal bartender, basically. He's not a very good bartender. Didn't know out the large window that there are people about to shoot in there, but I digress. Yes, so RA-7 droid. We see Death Troopers, speaking of Rogue One. Second time we've ever seen Death Troopers in live action. They're very good shooters. They don't fuck around. They're badass. Yeah, they don't... Yeah,
They aim.
Got the green, like, visors, the black, all black
if
out.
they're coming for
They're
you,
cool looking.
bad news.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they got the different blasters and everything that apparently go through walls, unlike every other stormtrooper's like gun. And they look sick as hell. And did you notice this? I was mentioning this to Robbie before. They look taller than almost every other stormtrooper.
They do.
They look like they were all like 6'2", 6'3", maybe.
Yeah,
they
they definitely recruit, I think, like the best of the best.
Yeah.
Physical specimens for that job.
Yeah.
Because they're protecting pretty high up figures, too.
Oh, and to mention, I think this should count under Easter eggs. There was a point in Celebration where Jon Favreau mentioned they brought a bunch of guys from 501st Legion to play extras. That was that scene, by the way, I think.
I think that would make sense because there were a shitload of stormtroopers.
There was a shit ton of stormtroopers.
So
They definitely
many
didn't have enough prop armor for that. I think that was the moment where they had all those 501st guys.
And they got brought in on an Easter egg that I said last week. I thought we saw a troop transport, and I got so fucking pumped, and it wasn't. It was just the jail. There was a troop transport.
Yep, the Rebels troop transport.
The most ridiculous toy of all time. Just a toy to hold toys. That's all it was. It was in Rebels. That was a huge deal. It was in Rebels because people freaked out. If you have a parent or if you're a collector, you know this toy. I'm showing it on the screen. And they finally did it in live action, and it works.
Yeah, it looked cool.
Classic troop transport.
There's a shit ton of fucking troops in there.
Yeah, there
a
were
a lot of troops.
Clown car troop transport. You can really pile on
Also,
out.
this is maybe an Easter egg. Cara Dune at one point said, it's a trap.
Oh,
She did. Yep.
I didn't think about that. How about that?
She said it like in passing. She's like, it's a trap.
Yeah.
How about
Like-
that?
Which, maybe that was literally just her dialogue and it was coincidence,
Yeah.
but I feel like in Star
It's
Wars,
Filoni.
It's so
somebody
well
had to be
known.
like, hey, that Admiral Akbar.
And finally, a new TIE fighter design. Moff Gideon, Giancarlo Esposito's character, we finally see. He flies down in this new TIE fighter where the wings fold outward and it lands flat, kind of. That is the Force Awakens concept art from Doug Chiang. That was initially concept art for Star Wars The Force Awakens. Hadn't used it. They definitely, because we've never seen that, they used it for The Mandalorian. Pretty cool.
That's
That
a
was awesome.
classic thing in Star Wars. They always reuse old concept art from The Force Awakens used a ton of stuff from the original trilogy that they never got
Well,
to
that's
use.
they were. I watched the Imagineering story, and also on Disney Plus, and I watched the Star Wars Land part. And they talked about just thumbing through Ralph McQuarrie drawings,
Yep.
and finding things that had never been used.
JJ
But-
went to like the big old Star Wars vault, I think, at Lucas Ranch too,
Yeah.
and like they were just looking at all that old model, all the models and shit that they never got to use, which is so sick.
Look up if you don't know Doug Chiang. Look up Doug Chiang. He's done a lot of the various famous characters. I forget if he did Grievous, but I think he was the mind
did a
behind Maul.
version
think,
of Grievous, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do
remember
the
that
kid. There's one guy
No,
who did
yeah.
who wanted Grievous to be a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't
We're
do
gonna pass on the little kid.
Is he apparently Grievous a little kid? What's going on here? Let's break down the episode. Grief Karga. He pops up on the hologram to open the episode. He's the rival, as you teased.
The old rival, which I didn't think would be the old rival because he was such a new rival.
What,
but
from 2
yeah,
weeks ago?
literally,
I
they've been
guess.
beefing for 2 weeks of all that much time.
He needs help from Mando. He's like, come on, I'm sure you're surprised to hear from me. Come on in, let's team up. Exactly reminded me of that dumb fuck from Phantom Menace, Governor C.O. Bibble. When he comes up on
Must help.
Yeah, he goes, you must sign the treaty. It's like, bro, this is the biggest trap of all time.
Yeah,
C.O. Bibble, that's hysterical.
the funniest thing of all time.
Dumbest fucking name. Like,
What an asshole.
Everyone, and the second that transmission ended, they're
Yeah.
like, so that's a trap, right?
Yeah.
Like, no one
Yeah.
believed him. That's what it reminded me of. It ended up being a trap. So he's got to put together a team. I think we kind of talked about, many people have, like a team up. They're eventually going to
I've
team up
wanted
with these
this
characters.
for a long time
Get the
now.
crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets Cara Dune. She's fighting in that bar on
Oh, wait.
Sorgon.
Goes on Sorgon, doesn't visit his lady. What the
I
hell?
was thinking that too. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, he's going to visit that lady, say hello. No.
Hey,
no.
you're a sharpshooter. Want to come help or something?
Yeah,
No.
he didn't. She agrees to come back, but only because he says Imperial. So there's
The second he
there's
says that, it
a
clicks.
lot
a
of
great
hate for
moment.
Imperials,
Yeah.
like more than you can even imagine. I guess
Like such a good character moment for her to be like, no, absolutely not. I'm not interested. He's like,
an Imperial.
he's an imp. Okay,
I'm in.
man.
Yep. So they're on the ship. They're down below on the ship, kind of talking. It's on autopilot. Baby Yo, with one of the cutest Baby Yo moments, pops his head like upside down below the
Yeah.
ship, like looking what's going on. I didn't know what he's doing at that moment. He was, I guess, reconning because he went up and started fucking around with the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost crashed the ship.
Took him out of hyperspace and blew him
Another
up.
very
Yeah.
funny moment, like right after her being like, "Can you trust that thing up there?" And all season we've been saying like he just leaves Baby Yoda in the ship unattended.
Again, self-aware
and
of
then
the
they
show,
pay it
yeah.
off. Yeah,
And he's trying to play with like the joystick, trying to fly the ship, and then Cara Dune says it. She's like, "We got to stop. We got to get help for this kid." And he only knows one person to go to, and that's Quill. Is that how you say it
Yeah, I
exactly?
think it was Quill.
Spelled Kuill.
Quill.
Queel.
Quill, yeah.
Queel. Yeah.
Nick Nolte. It's Nick Nolte's little
Whatever
Ugnaught.
his name is.
So Quill has saved IG-11. We learned that right off the bat. IG-11, voiced by Taika Waititi
Cool
from the first
flashback
episode.
sequence too.
Yeah, the rebuilding.
And Mando's like, "What the fuck? This guy tried to kill Baby Yoda. Like this guy's a demon. He's trying to kill people." And he goes, "No, I rebuilt the droid. He relearned. You see him trying to pick up cups, and he's learning to be basically a servant almost."
Yeah, it reminded me of like them having to reteach in like Creed and shit, reteach Creed how to walk and talk and all that shit, and like it was really cool.
It was cool to see like a droid have to learn that stuff too. That he said like you can't just reprogram that stuff. It takes repetition. It takes time. And it was another thing that reminded me of like the Mandalorian trying to ride the blurg in the first episode.
Yeah.
Like all the way tying it back to that. Nick Nolte's character was
Affirmation
just
and
totally,
something, yeah.
And even he paid off his debt in 2 lifetimes. He said like he's
3
all
lifetimes,
about
which is
patience.
crazy.
3 lifetimes.
Yeah.
I didn't know the Empire was around that long.
Yeah, I mean, geez, this guy's poor dude.
Yeah, and I think that this is important, like him mentioning all this nature versus nurture stuff. Like even like Mandalorian later says, he's like, it's in his bones, he's wired, it's in his nature to be like a killer. That's what he is. And like this is gonna be that nature versus nurture, right?
Yep.
Because the Mandalorian is now learning like Mandalorians, they've only been bred to do one thing, and it's to kill and to fight, and they can be something obviously more than that. So I think that's gonna be like
that's a great
repeating
point
lesson.
because that's kind of what Quill says. Quill. He's like he was programmed that way.
Yeah.
Like droids aren't good or bad. Like they're just programmed to be a certain thing.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what he says. That's why IG-11 protects him. Taika Waititi directing the next episode.
This is a much better way to do that droid story than they did in Solo.
Oh, where?
Like
We're just taking Ricochet
droid
shots at
freedom,
Solo
like
now.
droids are.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, true. I
Ricochet shot at Solo.
already
but
forgot Solo.
block
tongue
that
in
out of
cheek.
your
It was
mouth.
funny.
Apologies. Yeah, we're all kind of split on Solo. That's
This
another
made me
episode.
feel for a droid, though.
It did, yeah. And I'm also glad it wasn't just another droid that sounds like Taika Waititi.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That would have like been I'd been like, okay, whatever. But there's some meaning behind it where
Some history.
the character has something that means something to you as an audience member because this really is the same character. He does not think Baby Yoda is engineered. He makes a point to say that.
Yeah.
He
Too
says,
ugly.
Too evolved. Yeah, too ugly.
Yeah,
What
which
the
like,
fuck?
come on,
Yeah,
what the fuck? Look at
fucking
yourself for a second.
Big ass
Come on,
face.
man.
Like, what are you
Yeah.
calling people ugly
Slut.
for?
Fuck you, dude.
Otherwise, I do like Quill. That was
Yeah,
the only comment.
He's a really good guy.
But so he knows a lot, but he doesn't reveal
Yeah.
a lot.
He makes a lot of comments here too, where he says like Unglots were like sold into indentured servitude by the Empire.
Yeah.
So like he didn't want to serve them, but he had to. Unglots on Cloud City seemed like they were having a lovely time, just fucking with
Yeah,
C-3PO
those ones definitely
and Chewbacca. Yeah, I mean, come on.
So he agrees to go on the mission. They're going to help Baby Yoda. It's a lot of moral things for Quill. You got to really convince him.
Yeah.
But when he buys in, he buys in. He's a very smart guy.
Fucking made him bring 3 of the blurgs.
And he says, bring blurgs.
I didn't
And
know that ship was big enough for 3 of those.
Yeah,
things.
right. I
the
don't.
the best comment about so I thought the same, but then I thought about how many carbonite.
Yeah, the carbonite things,
they
yeah,
had.
true.
He makes a funny comment because Mando's like, what, blurgs? And he goes, I've spoken.
Yeah,
That-
he just
that's-
walks off. It's so great.
That's the first time where he's, I think, used it and he really hasn't been. He's like, I don't have time for your shit right now.
Yeah.
He goes, I love that he's like, all right, if I use it enough, I can use it in moments where I really just need to end the conversation. Perfectly played out. And then builds Baby Yoda a brand new pod, but this is after a very interesting moment where Baby Yoda force chokes Cara Dune because they're arm wrestling.
Yeah.
And Baby Yoda thinks that that's a threat to
It's like
Mando.
when a dog yells or
Totally.
barks when you start yelling or something.
Yeah.
Or like even if you're like play wrestling with your
Yeah.
friend and
They start,
a
like, going
dog
freaking out,
immediately-
yeah.
And he's got this face kind of like this. And he starts lifting his hand up. He goes, what the fuck's this girl doing?
I thought he was gonna like force like influence her or something.
Yeah, I
like
thought-
he tried
I thought
to
he was
do.
going to influence the
Yeah,
arm
that's what I
wrestle.
And then she grabs her throat. I'm like, Yoda, no,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. And so Mando stops Baby Yoda. She's pitched like, what the fuck? He tried to kill me. Again, Quill very surprised, but also is like, interesting. He literally says like,
Yeah.
that's interesting. He said, he's heard rumors of this. He's like, he hasn't seen this, but he's heard rumors of this. A lot of exposition. A lot of pronoun game here
Yeah.
for Quill. But he implies that he's heard something along the lines of either Force choke, because again, we don't really know how much they know about the Jedi.
Or the Force in general. And something I
Yeah.
really like about this show is like, they're obviously the Force plays a big factor in it, but they never say like the words the Force, which
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
is cool.
don't.
This is another thing of it's being self-contained and away from in all the trilogies and everything like that.
And as you mentioned, he worked for the Empire. He talks about that because him and Cara Dune have a bit of a tiff. She's like, what do you mean? Like, why are you why are you defending this kid? Like, he almost killed me. And he mentions, like you said, he worked
Enslaved by the Empire.
Yeah, so how many lifetimes? He goes, he bought his freedom,
Yeah.
basically, or worked his way out for freedom.
3 human lifetimes, by the way. Like, how long are people living in this fucking galaxy?
Might be a bit fabricated.
Yeah.
there. I
Yeah.
don't know. Just say
a little bit of hyperbole.
Another thing, people always, not always, but people a lot of times are like, yo, why wouldn't the whole galaxy know about Yoda and all this? And
Yeah.
why wouldn't they know about the Jedi? And why wouldn't they know about the Force? The galaxy is huge.
Yeah.
It is a
Massive.
massive galaxy, and they're not all watching the Star Wars movies movies like we are.
Yep.
So I think I very much don't think that's a suspension of disbelief to imagine that these people
absolutely
don't know the specifics of the Force.
There's been rumors that the new Matrix movies are going to exist inside of Matrix 4. It's funny.
What?
It's funny you say that. Just that's irrelevant to Mandalorian. But I'm thinking now, like, what if Star Wars movies existed within
Star Wars?
Yeah, because like X-Men comics exist within like Logan.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's like the superhero story from Watchmen.
yeah,
Within Watchmen.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Huh.
So then they're flying down to the initial planet. We saw them on Navarro, which we learned the name recently. That's where Greef Karga is. That's where we first saw Mandalorian. That's where his Mandalorian cohorts were at one point.
The covert has moved.
Yeah, the covert, because he really fucked it up for them. He's really ruined a nice, peaceful time. But again, builds Baby Yoda a new pod. Very cool pod.
Great pod.
And I like how it kind of has a hitch when it opens because he built it by hand. It's not perfect tech. Yeah, it reminded me of the pod that Padme dies in a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit like that. The one
yeah.
that brings her
Just his
down.
pod in general reminds me of that.
A little morbid, but
To get grim there, yeah. Meets Greef Karga. He's got these two security details we talked about. One was the weak wave at one species that's like Hondo. They're kind of on the move. I'm a little skeptical watching it.
I
right?
liked that,
Did you
yeah.
sense something?
Yeah.
They don't really give it away yet. Okay, so then it's at night, and they get attacked. Of course, Greef's like, I'm not worried about anything. There's nothing to worry about. They're cooking something up, by the way. They're eating.
Yeah. I think it was like maybe that horse they saw earlier.
Maybe.
I don't know.
And
It was
they
like a
did.
giant leg of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, this thing's a carnivore because they were feeding the Baby Yoda
Yeah.
pieces from it. And he's like, that's not
Yeah, what do
real.
you think, babe? Baby Yoda eats taquitos. We saw that.
Yeah.
Yoda eats those.
You're
A whole ass
to him,
frog.
bro.
That's true. We've seen now a Yoda species eat more than just a little taquito in gross soup.
Yeah.
So he gets attacked by some animal. We don't know what it is. We have no
Still
idea.
don't know.
And he gets a nasty gash on his arm.
Disgusting.
Big time Predator vibes for Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were just talking about Predator. I said I would love to see some kind of General Grievous Predator movie.
Type thing.
Side by side of I'm throwing it up right now of Carl Weathers.
Is getting his arm blown
the
off?
arm blown off.
Is it the same arm?
Oh, as it comes off and goes.
Yeah, it's the right arm, right?
Right arm.
Pretty sure it's his right arm with the MP5 on it. Yep.
Yep. This is the big thing that happens. It's probably one of the most pivotal things that's happened so far in this show.
Agreed.
We look at Greef Karga's like, I'm fine, but the poison's getting to him. It's a gross scar.
The vibe among the group is that he is about to die.
Yeah. And Baby Yo walks on. Baby Yo very quickly is like, fuck, I know what to do. He waddles on over. We saw him try to heal Mando in the second episode, I think.
Yeah.
He puts his little hand over the wound, heals it completely right up. Uses the
like
Force.
a Wolverine.
Yeah.
But via the Force.
They're shocked. Everyone's blown away. This is officially canon. It was not canon before. It was in Legends. The first time in Legends, I don't know if this is 100% true. I looked it up for like 20 minutes this morning. I think I got it. In the novelization of A New Hope, Obi-Wan uses the Force to heal Luke after the Tusken Raider attack. That is not
Wow.
canon. That's not a thing that happens in like current canon Star Wars, but in the Legends, the extra books and all that stuff, someone had said that that's what Obi-Wan had done to Luke.
healed
But
him, yeah.
now it's official. It's the first time we've seen it happen officially. And then this whole universe, etc. And Baby Yoda's able to do it, which he did tease that he could do in episode 2.
Yep.
I love the expansion of Force powers.
Me too,
I'm
yeah.
all for that. If not for the expansion of Force powers, we would have never even had Luke grabbing a lightsaber out of
Yep,
the snow
exactly.
and
Something
fire.
as basic as
So,
that.
yeah.
As basic as that. So
What's
I'm all
up
for
I'm
that as
pretty
well.
much always down for more Force powers as long as they're not like stupid.
Increase the fucking scale and go crazy with it.
Yeah.
Even the flips in Return of the Jedi. Well, I guess he did do flips in Empire, but not like.
Like a huge
No, he was
flip
doing like
that.
Flips
jumps
and
and
shit,
stuff in
yeah.
Empire
Yeah.
and Return. No, he's
Point
flipping
is,
around.
Force
yeah.
expansion's great. I
Oh,
do like
so
it. This is a cool one.
Look at the Force
It's
Unleashed.
neat.
Look at Jedi Fallen Order. Like
Force Unleashed
those
is so
games, the
close,
way
yeah.
that they expanded the Force. All that stuff's great.
It's definitely going to be a thing though where not many can do it. It's you
Oh, I
have to
agree.
be dumb powerful.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Dumb fucking.
I mean,
powerful.
he almost passes out right after he heals Greef Karga.
Yeah, he like
Because what
sits
you'll
down
hear
again.
He's like,
is
"Oof."
like plot hole Jedis can heal. Like no, I think that they're
It's not a plot
established. Like you got to
An
be.
expansion.
Also, I
gotta
think
be
it's just
fucking-
even like the Force works differently for different people.
Jedi can't do Force
just
lightning.
because,
Like, it's-
just because Yoda can heal people with the Force or Baby Yoda, whatever, doesn't mean every Jedi in the world can do that.
Yep. So Greef Karga's saved. Interesting moment. The next day when they wake up, he's walking with his troops and they're saying something. Cara Dune's like, uh-oh, they're having second thoughts. They get to kind of the outer part of the city or the town, and Greef Karga shoots his guards and was like, look.
This is it or something, and they both go. You see them take out their guns,
Yeah.
and then he does the classic.
He's like, look, we were going to kill you, but now I'm with you. That thing saved me. I have to be with you at this point. Cara Dune wants to shoot him. Queel is like, no, we kind of got to believe him here. So does Mando. So they buy into it. They concoct this plan that they're going to take Mando in as a prisoner. Cara Dune has to cover up her little
tattoo.
rebel insignia because the Imperials have taken over the town. And they tell Queel, big moment, ride away on the Blurg with Baby Yoda, protect it, shield yourself with IG-11, who's still back at the ship.
And they keep the carrier.
Yep. So they keep the little carrier. So they're gonna. It's a fake out. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little fake out. The pod is empty, but they're gonna try to go to the client, Werner Herzog, and do something. Probably kill him.
Yeah. That's the plan.
And Grief Karga's like, there's only 4 of them. Only 4 stormtroopers.
Yeah,
They go
fire
into
team,
town.
that's it.
There are many of them.
A lot.
But he's like, I said there were 4 inside.
Yeah.
And there's another funny thing. The stormtrooper points to Mando's helmet. He's like, I'll give you 30 credits for that helmet.
Not nearly enough, by the way.
No.
Beskar
No, yeah, well,
clearly very valuable.
And he goes, that's going on my wall. And then Mando says,
your wall, and
your
just
fucking
go,
wall.
just go with it.
You fucking dick. I like that. Again, Mando. There's been some things like how well can you connect with Mando when he doesn't take his helmet off, but he's become more personable throughout.
Yep.
Totally.
More humor.
100%.
Totally.
Werner Herzog, the Imperials, they want the baby. They're hanging out. He's at the bar. His medal, I noticed the medal in the first one. He got big ass Imperial medal.
Yeah, he's got chains.
Big ass
He
medallion.
does.
Yeah.
He's kind of curious, about why he kept the baby. Right? He's like, thank you for bringing the baby. He looks at Mando. And Werner Herzog drops some lines.
Yeah.
Good lines.
What
lines.
exquisite craftsmanship. Yeah.
Would you like some libations to celebrate our conclusion of our narrative? So good.
Gives more hints on the fall of Mandalore.
Yep.
He looks at the Mandalorian, says, why did Mandalore resist
The
our
expansion.
Yeah, which is interesting. Which that isn't the Purge as much as that might be the Siege of Mandalore. I don't know what the timeline of those two things, the Purge and the Siege of Mandalore, are 2 completely different things. I don't know what the timeline or which one he's referring to, or if it's just something recent that we haven't heard about. But he does reference that.
Yeah, which makes me think almost that the Mandalorian is not from Mandalore, because he's referencing that, and obviously Mandalorian's not saying jack shit.
True.
Yeah.
Because he just keeps mentioning Mandalore, and he's just like, oh, not saying anything.
And he says in general, even
Yeah.
talking about the baby and getting the baby, things aren't better, guys.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
your resistance, your rebellion was great, but I see nothing but death and chaos.
I enjoyed everything he said about the Empire too, because
Yeah.
it's refreshing to hear someone from the Empire argue their side.
Yeah.
Usually it's just like, we're the big bad guys.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
blowing up planets. And this guy was like, no, everything was pretty much good under us. Look at the statistics. Death is down, murder's down.
Yeah.
People aren't starving anymore. Population's
Look at
good.
my graphs.
Yeah.
Order even bad, even in an order
It's
where
like,
people
all right,
are.
they think they're the good guys.
Yeah.
That's what you always want out of a villain.
That bureaucratic oversight, just me keeping everything in check, even though it's people are suffering really badly under it. It's yeah, but things were peaceful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just very convoluted, which is
Yes.
great.
I'll email you my deck. I'll show you the statistics.
Yeah.
And he says, I want to see the baby. And they're like, he's sleeping. Obviously, it's empty. He's like, we will all be quiet.
We'll all be quiet.
Hysterical.
He gets up to get a drink. Or no,
He gets
to get
a
a
hologram call, yeah.
He gets a call. And he's like, excuse me, I have to take this very important call. It's Moff Gideon. First time we've seen Moff Gideon. Something's up. He's like, you may want to check again. That baby's not there, basically. And as that had been happening, right after that happens, the Death Troopers shoot right through the window. They kill Werner Herzog. Werner Herzog dead. The client
Big
dead.
Right through the chest.
We don't have a name for the guy.
Rest in
The
peace.
client, big dead.
Dead. And so are the stormtroopers. They don't hit any of any of our heroes. They're trapped inside, window blown out. Mando talking over the comm, and unfortunately gives away the fact that the Blurg and Queel are on the run with Baby Yoda, and the scout troopers hear it, fly after the speeder bikes.
Yeah.
Presumably
Not good.
intercept the
Not
signal
good.
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, not
Speeder
good.
bikes, in my
Much faster than
estimation,
blimps.
faster than blimps.
Yes.
Much faster.
So then more troops come out. The TIE fighter lands. Moff Gideon walks
Salvo
out.
Fring.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
He looks great,
Breaking
by the
Bad
way.
fan, he does.
Fantastic.
He is the
Has-
perfect look for a Star Wars villain.
Just has this. I don't know.
He almost has the Inquisitor front pack thing. I don't know what it is, but
There's
it looks like
armor
it.
in the front, but a cape.
Yeah.
His cadence, the way he delivers lines, it's a perfect Imperial,
Perfect
real
Imperial.
big Imperial bad guy.
Perfect.
A Moff. And then he says a lot of exposition on Baby Yoda.
Yes.
It doesn't mean much, but a lot of you don't know really what it is. It means a lot more to us than you. Blah blah blah. We need the baby. And as that's happening, the speeder bike is just closing in on Baby Yoda, and then more threats from Moff Gideon. We think it's about to come to a head. I'm like, how are they going to get out of this? And the last thing we see is Baby Yoda's on the ground.
Which I thought he dropped him and
So
just
did
got
I.
onto the
I know, I
ship.
thought
I was
at
like, what
that
the
same
fuck,
moment,
dude?
I was like,
Yeah.
I
this
yelled at my TV.
Yeah, this motherfucker just left him here?
Yeah.
I yelled out loud. I was like, he dropped
Queel,
Baby
you
Yoda,
moron.
go back. You
Yeah.
dropped him. You know.
And then they zoom up and Quill's dead.
He's dead.
Big dead.
That like actually hit me a little bit.
Yeah.
That was,
It
like,
did. I was sad. I liked
was
his
a good
character.
death.
He's a very noble, honorable character. It was sad to see.
This dude hates money, by the way.
And,
Every
like-
single time he's offered money, he's like, nope,
No, not a money
I'm not
guy.
taking
the
your damn
way
money.
like they kept cutting to him and he was like out of breath, like couldn't even respond to Mando. He was just trying to get to the ship and he couldn't. It was
Sad.
tragic death.
so
Pour one
close.
out for him today if you
They were
could.
going to turn out the defense system. The one line that Grand Moff Gideon said that stuck out to me, he said, it means more to me than you will ever know. And he
Yeah.
says very specifically me, which like I don't know what that's going to mean for the next episode, but I think he's obviously going to have a much more personal connection to Baby Yoda.
I have a feeling the Emperor is going to come into play a little bit here.
Oh wow, you think so?
I do because of his relevance. Or I don't know. I just feel like they may explain a little bit that he's still kind of kicking, and
Yeah.
there's the Force and all that. Just there's a greater Force power here at play. So I don't know. Maybe he owes some. I don't know.
So here's a question for you guys. Did what he said to Mando here make you think that this was a relative of Yoda anymore? Because for me, it kind of made me lean in that direction. Like, ooh, is this thing actually? Is he going to say he is the son of Jedi Master
Well, the fact
Yoda?
they kind of said like even implied he wasn't manufactured.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I still think it gun to my head. He's just a species. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
what he said made me lean a little more. Like, could this be the last, ancestor of Yoda?
I don't know what it means for that, but for me, I think it actually almost means that Gideon might be maybe an Inquisitor. I really have no idea.
Maybe
but
he
because
is.
between the fit and between the fact that like he
Which,
said
if you want to explain Inquisitors to those that don't know.
Inquisitors are just like the guys in the Empire that would chase down the remnants of the Jedi. Like that was just their entire
Yeah.
purpose. They were
After
like,
They had
Order
lightsabers.
66, yeah.
really cool ass like dual like spinning double bladed sabers. They're sick as hell.
Sarah Michelle Gellar voiced one.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
I didn't know
the
that.
sixth sister or something. But but I think that is going to come into play. I think he's maybe involved with the Inquisitors, and just because of that fact, he said they mean more to me than you'll ever know. He didn't mean us. He said to me.
Super
which to
Inquisitor
me-
ship too.
Yeah, very Inquisitor
Yeah,
shit. The way they use
I
those
like
weird
that. I
interceptors
like
and
that
shit.
theory. Good
Yeah, I
theory.
like that theory. Good
theory.
episode.
Great
Big
episode.
cliffhanger. I was like, oh fuck, and I knew this. I thought it was gonna be longer. I don't know. I was like,
Perfect
damn it.
cliffhanger for a
It
finale
was.
episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a lot. Shit's gonna go off
Yes.
next episode. And IG-11 is gonna come into play. You would imagine.
Hopefully that Mando
IG
unit
lit.
comes back.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. The covert has to come back at some
yeah.
point.
Question
Please.
from everyone though. Not as much a question as a comment. People saying Moff Gideon is not the mysterious figure at the end of
Yeah.
episode 5. They said he doesn't have the spurs on his boots. That's who I thought it was. So I guess rule him out.
Oh fuck! Is it Boba Fett?
I don't know.
Is that Boba Fett?
We're like the only 3 people in the world who don't think it's Boba Fett. By the way, at this point, I still don't think so. But
fucking maybe. Who knows?
when are they gonna tie that one up? I'll be bummed if they don't tie it up next episode. But they very well. Someone's got to come save Mando.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be Boba. I don't see that being a scenario they play out.
Or
for
the baby
finale.
comes back and the baby does.
The baby does
too.
something.
I don't know. But that's everyone's saying.
Ties into the next question too.
They're saying it's not Moff Gideon, so we'll see. At Sean Hoffman said, do we think that the series will move past Baby Yoda? The next one's kind of related to that as well, but I don't know. I like the series. I mean, there's episodes where Baby Yoda is just kind of there. Like, I like everything that isn't Baby Yoda as well.
I
so
think
I'm not bothered
I think
by
mostly no. I think this is that. What's that classic story like the Cub and Bear or whatever? It's that kind of story. People are gonna be like, "That's not the name of the fucking story, you idiot."
you get it. Don't yell.
But I think also everyone loves Baby Yoda too much
You
for
can
them
stretch
to
this
now
out for
be
a
like,
while.
yeah, why would we do it
On the
with Baby
run,
Yoda?
like, on the
Also,
chase?
It's again, it's not Game of Thrones. It's Star Wars. It's mostly for kids. Kids love Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda merchandise is gonna fly off the shelves.
This has
They're
taken
gonna
place
keep this
over, what,
around.
like a month and a half, right?
Yeah,
They were
something
there
like
for a
that.
month on
They-
Sorgon, right?
They were there for a few weeks on Sorgon.
Okay,
that's
so
it.
like you can do what 3 or 4 seasons over the course of what 4 or 5 months in Star Wars with the baby, with the resolution coming at the end.
Yep.
Very possible. So I don't think they will move on. I mean, if they do, I'm sure they will find something, but I don't think they will.
Tell you what, if you want to make a hateable character, have
Whoever
him kill
kills-
Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
I've
true.
been saying since the beginning, I think Yoda's going to sacrifice himself somehow, like to save the Mandalorian, and that's going to be the big emotional moment. I don't think, just because of the way they've paced out the season so far, I don't think that happens this season.
No,
maybe next
I would
season or
say- I would
something.
say
But
definitely not, especially
Yeah.
with like merchandise. Not
with
even
merch
coming
being
out
this
till
important,
May.
yeah, yep. Yep,
And
exactly.
finally, at hates followers. I like that. Good handle. Sure, don't follow him then. I respect that.
Yeah.
Don't follow me. I hate you guys. Something bad has to eventually happen to Baby Yoda, right? Which we've talked about before. And his question was longer, was more of a comment like, he doesn't exist for the sequel trilogy. Motherfucker's powerful as hell. So, what would he be for the sequel trilogy? He'd be
Again,
about
I feel like I don't know the
90?
galaxy's so
Something like
big
that.
that I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't around for
mean,
the sequel trilogy.
would he be like a fucking teenager at that point? Not
Yeah,
even. He's
who-
still a baby at
who
this
told
point.
him?
But if the
that
seeds,
the war was
of
going on.
the Empire and the First Order know about him, that's where it becomes tough. I don't think it's going to matter. I think you're right. I think a sacrifice or something will happen. I don't think it will matter, but it is like a question that will not just has to be answered, it will be answered. It will be addressed. They have to address it.
Maybe Baby Yoda some sort of like big looks like sacrifice moment where it's like, and like, oh shit, Baby Yoda's dead, and like they can't feel pulse,
Everyone
and then he
thinks
comes back.
He's dead. A little Batman
and then
thing.
He's back. Yeah.
The fucking Mandalorian sees him in the cafe and gives him a little head nod.
Yeah, maybe they fake his death so that he stops getting chased.
Michael Caine, Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Master Mando.
It's him tipping the tea.
Yeah.
That's a funny gif. Got to make that. Predictions, anything for next week? Next episode will air 2 days after Christmas, so the 27th. When
It's kind of nice, like a post-Christmas treat.
It is. The finale of The Mandalorian Season 1. It's been a smash fucking hit. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be a huge finale. I imagine the episode will be a little longer. A lot to resolve. But anything? I don't think...
My one prediction is we'll see who saved Mando as a child.
Yes. And I'm telling you, it's heating up, Obi-Wan.
If it's Obi-Wan. Whoo!
We're heating up for Obi-Wan.
That'd be
a
awesome.
little tease. Yeah.
We're definitely gonna get a little bit of that, a little more
tease.
backstory.
And it's a Taika Waititi directed episode,
Yep.
so
It's
set
going to be
your
fun.
hopes high, I think.
Taika Waititi's going to be fun. And again, if you forgot our Obi-Wan thing, we're not saying, remember, Obi-Wan was alive when Mando would have been saved. We know he's dead in his current timeline. But yeah, a little tease for Taika Waititi.
Yep.
He's going to direct it. It's going to be a blast. What if he just like subverted? He just told Jon Favreau, was like, I'm doing Thor Ragnarok. He just does like the Thor. Everything's 80s. They're just colorful,
super
and
colorful.
like music, like regular
There's
like
a Baby
fucking
Yoda
Beatles start
festival
playing.
going on.
I don't think I have anything else though. Do you think we get wrapped up who the mysterious figure is?
I think
though?
we wrap up the mysterious figure, and I think that we're gonna have one big sacrifice to end the show. It's not gonna be Mandalorian. I don't think it's gonna be
Quill
big.
just did die though too.
But I think Quill was like a fan favorite. I don't think he's like the guy. Maybe
True.
Grief Karga, I think, is probably gonna
Karga.
die.
People are sad though.
Yeah.
People are really sad over
Yeah.
Quill this morning. They were like, "What the fuck?"
Dude, I was sad about it.
Yeah.
I really, like, that hit me.
This goes back to an Empire Strikes Back to Return of the Jedi problem. Lawrence Kasdan, Gary Kurtz, they talk about it. Empire Dreams, the documentary on Disney Plus.
Must
You can watch
watch.
it.
Must watch.
I'll say
Yep.
it every time we do one of these. They mentioned they were like, they thought Han Solo should have died because then that sets the expectation like, oh shit, other people might go. Quill, again, he's not Mando, but he's been a pretty like decent character and popular.
And, like, well-liked.
They killed him off.
He was around in the beginning, you know. He was there for those first two, so we felt that connection to him. We felt the connection when he got Mando out of the shit with the Jawas. They did a really good job with that character. Great addition to the Star Wars universe.
We're going to have a full breakdown and review of The Rise of Skywalker as best as we could because we did it right after we saw it. We didn't have like a whole plot in front of us. I think we broke it down pretty well, though.
Yeah.
I think we did. That will drop on YouTube or the Barstool Sports website, either or. The second you walk out of the theater on Thursday night, it's going to be up.
It'll be up. You could watch it right away. You could watch it on the car ride home. Well, don't watch it.
Take our thoughts.
Yeah, don't watch it. Listen to it.
Watchmen's over, but you go back and watch those. But then Mandalorian, the final reaction episode, we're going to be remote. We're all going to be home for Christmas. Still going to be having one of these drop on that Friday, the 27th. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, and the bell icon to know when these drop. For Robbie and KenJac, I'm Jeff Lowe.
Hey, one more thing.
Uh-oh.
We have spoken.
Yeah, there we go.
And may the force be with you going to see Rise of Skywalker.
Enjoy the movie.
We'll talk to you next time. We'll do a cold close here for Quill.